Welcome to Corporate R NIA 4.0 Corporate Media House. And today we are going to discuss about the beer industry. And we have with us a very dynamic and budding entrepreneur who has made his business from zero to one, Mr. Avneet Singh, founder and CEO of Medusa Beverages. We welcome you, Avneet.
Hi Tanya, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for being with us here. So today I have some couple of questions for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is something that we really would like you to address. So can you tell us about the inspiration behind Medusa, how this idea came up to you, and how your journey has been? Because it's a very niche industry to enter in the beer market, especially in countries like India, which is not an easy stance, right? So can you just tell me how this idea came up to you and how is your journey going on?
I'll tell you about my liquor industry first. So how I entered into the liquor industry. So I was 21 when I entered into the industry, and before the legal drinking age. but but after 18, we can do business in India. So I entered into the industry at the age of 21, and I started my journey with the retail business in Delhi. So I started a liquor store in Delhi at the age of 21 in 2015. So when I entered into the retail side of the business, so I saw like various products, because we I used to retail, so I know about which product is doing good in the market, which product is selling, which product is not selling. So I always saw a big gap in the beer industry. So there were not much creative beers basically, and spirit market was very mature in India. So beer was very young, and there were brands like, only global giants were there, like UB is a global giant, Carlsberg is a global giant, and AB InBev is a global giant. Foster was a giant, but it was took over by SAB Miller, and then SAB Miller took over. SAB Miller was acquired by AB InBev. So there were not much good brands, basically not variety of brands, I would say. So I saw a big gap in the industry. So in 2017, I decided to enter into beer market, and I was also very passionate about beers. So that's how I entered into beer industry. So in 2017, I incorporated my company, Medusa Beverages Private Limited, and in 2018, we started with the production. So the whole 2017 1 year I gave to conceptualize the recipe, designing of the product. So it took around 8-9 months, and in 2018 I started off with the commercial run. So that's how I entered into the beer industry, and so there is a lot of gap in the industry right now also, and more players are invited, and I always welcome people to join the industry, come in. So that's how the industry will become big, because if you see in India, per capita consumption of beer is only 2 liters, whereas in China it is around 40 liters. In US, it is around 62 liters. So imagine if it goes from 2 liter to 4 liter, all these factories, all these breweries won't be able to, meet the demand.
Yeah.
So uh, right now, beer is at a very nascent stage. Lot of scope is there in beer industry, and of course, beer is healthier than other hard liquor, I must say. And consumer is shifting towards beer drinking more in India, and as disposable income is increasing, so people will shift towards beer more.
Definitely, you have entered into such a competitive edge and giving tough competition to the key players in the market, as you already have done. So, you know that people have different preferences and flavors when it comes to beer, and different generations, millennials, Gen Z, and other. Like they all like to have a different flavoring and taste. So how does Medusa is managing the flavorings of the products, and how is it serving all the generations and keeping it intact?
So, first of all, we are not putting any artificial flavors in the beer. So, we are just using rice, barley, malted barley, hops, and yeast. So, it's the hops and the yeast that gives flavor to the beer. So, we are not putting any artificial flavor. We are importing our yeast from Denmark, and we are using very high quality hops. So that's how, we are managing the quality of the product. And we are using very high quantity of malted barley that contributes, maximum to the beer. So our process is very, very neat, very clean, very hygienic. We are not using any much of the enzymes also, and none of the chemicals are used, and it is more of a natural process that we are using. That's how we are different. And also, our alcohol percentage is 5.9. So as per Indian excise, our beer comes under strong category. But if you go to Europe or US, so there people don't write strong or mild. It is just the percentage of alcohol which is there in the product. So if you see any product in Europe or US, you'll see the percentage of alcohol. It's 5.9, 5.8, 6, 6.5, 3.5, 4.5, anything. They just write the percentage. But in India, it is classified as strong or mild. So we are not a very super strong beer. We are not having alcohol percentage like 7, 7.2, which all other traditional beers are having. And neither we are very light, 4.5, 4.6. So our percentage is very, very apt, 5.8. So that's a new segment that we started. So before Medusa, there was none of the beer is in this percentage of alcohol. So we started this. So our kick is good. Our alcohol percentage is 5.8, 5.9, but our taste is very mild. So our beer is very smooth. So we are catering both the consumers, people who like to consume, less bitter beers, and people who want to have a good high and good kick. So we are catering both the consumers by doing this. So this was something different that we did in the market, and we got success.
Coming to the consumer base only, like in the current dynamics of the market, like things are changing super fast, right? And
Yes.
like most of the beer that is consumed in India is in the southern region, right? And different types of flavorings are there, wheat, palm, and quite like premium segments are there, which people like to consume generally. And this is quite a very base market. So, how is your brand managing to place itself in the right place at the right time?
See, it is not true that only southern region has more consumption. So in North India, Uttar Pradesh has a very big industry. Delhi has a very high per capita consumption. So if you compare Delhi's per capita consumption, I would say that is one of the maximum in India. Apart from Bengaluru, if you compare, but Bengaluru is not a state; it's a city. And if you compare it with the population, Delhi has a population of 2 crores, and industry is around 1.5 crore cases. And if you talk about states like Maharashtra, so the industry is around 4 crore cases, but the population is also 15 crores. So you see the difference. So per capita consumption in Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab is more than the southern regions. And also in South India, more of high, very high, strong, high alcoholic percentage beers are sold. So if you compare the mild beer market, it's more in northern part of the country. So there are, like, more of microbreweries in Bangalore and Mumbai, but in Gurgaon also now there are a lot of microbreweries have come up, in Delhi also, in Punjab, Chandigarh, everywhere. So that's not correct if I say, it's only the south part of the country is consuming more beer. Northern part is also consuming, but in southern region, more of economical range beers are consumed.
So, I think
All expensive
hmm,
brands are consumed more in northern part of the country.
Medusa has placed itself in the right occasion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's the key thing that the
As
brand.
of now, we are not in South India. We are not in South India. We have expansion plans because of the production capacity. We are right now, 100% utilized in our region only. So we'll be, of course, joining more players with us, more breweries with us, and we'll do contract manufacturing with them, and then launch our product in South India soon. We have plans.
Coming to the distribution process only, right? Can you address some of the main bottlenecks or obstacles that are coming while it comes to the distribution part of the beer?
See, distribution. See, if I say in liquor industry, first of all, beer should not be the part of the main excise policy. So I always tell everyone that beer should be considered as a normal other beverage, because other soft drinks have more are more harmful to the body than beer. But beer is, in India it is considered as a liquor product. So the major problem that comes is every state has a different excise policy. So in India, we are working as if we are working in 27 countries. So every state has a different policy. So that is the major concern in our case, and that is the major obstacle, excise policies, and then GST and VAT, because beer comes under VAT, and for procuring all the raw materials, we have to pay GST, and we don't get any input. So that is part of our cost of production, which goes very high. I pay almost 20% of the GST, goes into the cost of production. 20% part goes into the GST, and which we don't get any input. So we are losing a lot of money on that. So these are the obstacles which are there in India, and either we should be, we should get a refund of GST, or beer should come under GST so that we get the input. So that's how we'll be able to, sustain in the market, and beer market can really grow.
Definitely,
Like
that's
like like countries like Europe.
hmm.
So beer drinking is very open there. It is not a taboo in the society. But in India, it is still a taboo. Everybody likes to drink, but still it is a taboo. So actually, we have like in our society, it's very easy to say bad things about anything. If you're consuming non-veg, that is not good for the body. That is absolutely harmful for the body, but still we are consuming. But that's not a taboo in our society. We are consuming soft beverages. We are consuming milk tea. All these products are not good for the body, but still we are consuming, and there's no taboo in the society. And beer is far more healthier for our body if consumed in a moderate quantity.
Hmm.
So if anything which is extreme is bad, even food, if we consume like if we every day consume fast food, that is also bad for the body. But still, beer is considered amongst one of the taboo product.
See, the coming generation is, I think, more advanced and open to such things. So they are the right consumer base for this, and they are quite open to consume such kind of products and
Yes.
keep consuming it forward, right? So these challenges will still be an obstacle, right, as it is on the governmental and policy making levels. But still, we
Yes.
are hopeful that this industry is a grown industry and people would like to consume it further, right? So, as our government is also very keen towards the sustainability goals, right, and environmental concerns are ongoing. So, as a brand, how like you prioritize your sustainability in your operations and in the production process also?
So, one of the major step that we have taken is we are selling 90% of the cans. So we are the first brand in India to promote just cans. For the first 1 year, we didn't launch any glass bottles. So aluminum cans are more sustainable. They are 100% recyclable. They don't contribute to the landfill, and also they chill very faster. So the power consumption is reduced if we use more of cans. Whereas in the case of glass bottles, all big companies are using glass bottles, and they are collecting again from the market and reusing it. So that requires a lot of water to rewash it. And after pandemic, consumer is more towards, hygiene. And I feel cans are always new, they are never reused, but bottles are always reused. And a lot of, water, groundwater is wasted to clean those bottles. So that's a huge problem in our country, where we are wasting a lot of, water to wash second-hand bottles. So I always request all the companies to promote more of cans, or come into more sustainable packaging. Glass is not at all a sustainable packaging, because, if you see the glass making process also, a lot of pollution is created. But if you see a canning, how to make a can, if you see a can making process, it's very simple. So that's why our companies is focused towards cans. Of course, due to market forces, we have to launch glass bottle, but that is only 10% of our sales. And in near future, we will make this company as 100% can company. So we'll sell 100% cans.
That's a really great initiative as a company that you're taking, and it is also environment friendly to introduce more and more can-based products. So I would really like to know, are we expecting any new product line from the company? Are you planning to launch any new products in the coming times?
Yes, we are coming up with a what you call a mild beer, what we call in India. So we are coming up with a product with the alcohol percentage of 4.5%. And soon we're gonna reveal the name also. It is by the name of Medusa only. It's a variant of Medusa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So we are
like,
just waiting for the excise policy, because we want to launch in Delhi first.
mhm.
So right now, policy is extended in Delhi due to some reasons. So once the policy is out, we will surely launch our mild version.
That's really great. So,
Yeah.
coming to the human resource part of it, you're managing such a huge industry, right? And the production,
Yeah.
the processes are not easy to manage. There would be challenges, there will be bottlenecks at every step. So, can you address some of the human resource challenges, including recruitment, training, staff management? Because these industries that we are running are people oriented and people friendly. So, how's the company managing it?
See, as an entrepreneur, I feel founders' biggest job is to manage the HR only, because my HR manages my company. I'm not managing my company. I'm managing them. So managing HR is the biggest thing a founder should do, and we should have right people at right place, and that we have. And you'll be shocked to know that in past 5 years, there's not even a single resignation in my company. So it's difficult to join Medusa, but it's not easy to leave Medusa. So people come here, work like a family. So I'm very close to all my staff, even blue collar staff, white collar staff. So everybody's very attached to the company and working towards the growth. And that's how we are quite different in the market. And uh, finding a good HR is not tough, because there's a lot of talent in India. India is full of talented people, and that's not a problem in case of my company. And so I feel I better the HR. I manage the HR in a better way. So that's how it's been from the day one. And people who have joined Medusa are still there. As I told you, there's not even a single resignation in my company. Yes.
That's a very confident and bold statement to address. And definitely, the people who are so connected with the brand never leaves a brand. So that's a
Yeah.
key thing that the Medusa is keeping that and all the people intact together till date, right? So, can you tell us the vision and the future for the brand, and what are your plans of expansion in the coming times to keep it as a success in the industry? And any new challenges that you're facing apart from the policy challenges? And do you like to expand in the coming times into the international market also?
So right now, my focus is not international market.
Okay.
India has a huge scope. So first of all, my vision is to, open more and more states, to be present in more cities, tie up with more breweries, putting up my own brewery also. We are planning for that as well. And we have a vision to be the #1 beer company in India. And also we are coming up with more variants, and we are planning to focus more towards kegs business also, draught beer. And it is more fresh, it is more consumer friendly. And it is more sustainable also, because there is no packaging in case of kegs, so we can reuse the kegs, like n number of times. So it is more sustainable model also. So my focus is towards more of kegs in near future. Yes. And of course, we want to go for IPO also in coming 5 years. So we have plans for IPO as well. So because for expansion at one point of time, we need more and more funds. So IPO is the best way to raise funds and grow the company.
Definitely. So thank you so much, Avneet, for answering all the questions. I hope more and more budding entrepreneurs can learn from your journey, all the challenges that you have addressed, and wish you all the very best in the coming times. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tanya, for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you.